In December 2023, there was a debate between Dean Odell and Greg Locke about biblical cosmology, but since one is a geocentrist and the other is a flurf, inevitably both of them got it wrong. Most of their nonsense was already covered by debunkers like MC Toon and yours truly, but they had a long discussion about the verse in Job 38, which none of us dealt with before. So I've decided to decipher the three vague verses, Job 38, 12-14, once and for all. But before I begin, a disclaimer. There's going to be a bit of Hebrew grammar in this video, so if something is not clear enough, please leave a comment and I'll expand on that particular topic. 2. The citations are going to be a mixture of versions of translation of the Bible, depending on who got it more verbally correct. A bit of context first. In chapter 38, God answers to Iyov, that's his name in Hebrew, and gives a speech regarding his creation and that men were not involved in the process. Like most of the book, it is written like poetry, where the verses are composed of two parts that can be either synonymous, like verse 31, or complementary, like verse 33. After that is set, we can begin to analyze verses 12-14. Let's look at verse 12. In your lifetime have you commanded the morning or informed the dawn of its place. This one is quite trivial. The two parts are synonymous. I don't think there is much to expand on. So let's move on to the next verse. To seize the ends of the earth, that the wicked be shaken out of it. On first glance, it seems like the second half is neither synonymous nor complementary, but that's only on first glance. The mechanics are simple. We just need to remove the first part and see if the meaning changes or stays the same. Let's see. In your lifetime have you commanded the morning to shake the wicked out of the earth? That makes a lot of sense, considering that the wicked are afraid of the light. Before we move on to verse 14, a bit of grammar. Verbs in Hebrew have several attributes. The core, quote-unquote, which is the combination of root and building. A root is usually a three-letter set that can have several different but somewhat close meanings. A building is one of 7 patterns that determine the specific action and if it is active or passive. The other attributes determine the other 4 parameters. Person, as in first, second, or third, singular or plural, masculine or feminine, and tense, as in past, present, future, or command. The problem with verse 14 is that there is no easy way to get a match between its parts, mainly because of the inflections of the verbs in the different halves. In the first part, the verb is in feminine singular form, and in the second part, it is in masculine plural form. Both are in future tense and both are third person, but that seems to not be enough to make them match. But before we try to understand the meaning, we need to understand the verse word by word. תתהפך כחומר חותם, that's the first part, והתייצבו כמו לבוש, that's the second part. The first verb appears only 4 times in the entire Bible. Genesis 3:24, Judges 7:13, Job 37:12, and in this one, Job 38:14. In Genesis 3 and Job 37, the meaning is to swirl, and in Judges 7, the meaning is to roll on and on, which is basically the same meaning. So if 3 out of 4 have the same meaning, we can assume that the fourth case is also of the same meaning, broadly speaking. Homer means clay and Chotam means seal. Therefore, Homer Chotam means clay of a seal, as in the clay which seals are made of. Now that this has been established, the best translation for this part of the verb is supposed to be, it will rotate like a clay-made seal. I'll explain that soon. And now for the second part. And they will stand like a garment. The difficult word in this part is that they, which is embodied in the last vav that implies this verb is plural and masculine. What exactly will stand like a garment? When we put the question this way, and considering verses 12 and 13, the answer is obvious. Garments have features, like texture and color, and both of them are indistinguishable in the dark. So does the earth that is compared to a seal. In the night, its features are indistinguishable, and when the light of dawn seizes the ends of the earth, or more accurately, the earth rotates towards the light, its features become clear and evident like a brightly colored garment. Conclusion. Bible verses, and especially bad translation of Bible verses, cannot determine the shape of the earth. The direction needs to be the exact opposite of what biblical fleurs do. They take badly translated verses and try to prove, quote-unquote, that they mean something about the universe. The proper way is to study the universe first, and with that knowledge to humbly approach the Bible.